Hello from Gardening at Douentza in Ireland, and today we're making another video, and I have Alberto with me, whom you'll remember from the last couple of videos. And if you haven't checked out Alberto's channel yet, you really should.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Orchidaholic.
What's it about?
Orchids.
Okay. So
Easy enough.
Yeah. So if you're interested in orchids at all, you really should subscribe to Alberto's channel. Okay, so what are we going to do today?
We are going to plant. A couple of tulips. Yeah.
Just two?
Just 2, 3, maybe 4.
5?
Or 6.
100? 200?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably that.
Okay, so stay tuned. And before we start the video, I just want to take a few moments to give a shout out to 2 people who are joining in on the collaborative growing we're doing on this channel and growing something for Josh. And the 2 people I want to mention today are, first of all, Brian Merriman, who's in Dublin. And Brian is actually my cousin. I think we worked out, my 3rd cousin. And Brian, I don't think is particularly a gardener, but he's growing an olive tree for Josh. And Brian must have a very sheltered garden, because I wouldn't be able to get away with an olive tree here, but well done, Brian. And there's a gorgeous little pig planter with it as well, so you'll see that in the picture that we have at the end. And the second person I want to mention today is Connie Boylan in Los Angeles in California, the United States. And Connie I actually know from genealogy several years ago, and Connie contacted me to say that she, also not a gardener, wants to grow some strawberries for Josh, and I think she's actually harvested the very first ones recently. So thank you very much, Connie, and stay tuned for photos of those at the very end. So just to let you know why we're planting tulips in this part of the garden, and Alberto's been very busy the last couple of days,
yeah,
clearing out this part of the garden and getting it ready for tulips. And as you can see, Alberto's been doing great work here in what I call the west part of my garden, weeding it and getting it ready for planting tulips, which is what we'll be doing very soon. I guess this part of the garden is just about ready for winter. Yeah. And that's why it looks so neat at the moment. But the reason why I'm planting tulips in this part of the garden is that this is the part of the garden that normally takes the tropical plants. And in Ireland we can't put them into the ground until June, the 1st of June. And that has meant that in effect I can't open my garden before the 1st of June, because there's nothing to see, just big empty spaces. So this year it's going to be different. This year we're going to have tulips in the ground, and hopefully they'll be in flower from May. Okay, so I've bought a lot of tulips, and these are what we're going to put in the ground. Now what I do with tulips is, we all like the really fancy ones, like the lily flowered ones and the parrot ones, but they're very expensive.
Yeah. And
I want lots of tulips. So what I do is buy cheap, and that means here in Ireland buying them in some of the big German supermarkets, okay, Lidl and Aldi. So you get a 2 kilogram bag like this for €9.99, €9.99, and I'm not sure how many is in there exactly, but it's
quite
a good lot.
Enough.
Enough. Well, there's never enough. You can never have enough tulips. Okay, so I've bought 3 different colours. I've bought pink and purple for this part of the garden, and because they would look nice together. Yeah. Okay. However, since I don't know what cultivar these tulips are, there is absolutely no way of knowing what time they'll flower at, and there's no guarantee that the pink and the purple are going to flower at the same. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Exactly. So we're going to put them down anyway. And I've also bought these red yellow ones for over beside the greenhouse. They should be nice there. Yeah. But they definitely don't go with the pink and the purple.
Not at all.
No. Okay. All right. So I guess we'll get on with it.
Yeah.
So we're going to plant these tulips in natural looking clumps. Now this isn't going to be a formal tulip planting. I'm sure you're familiar with the kind of formal rows of tulips that you might have in various places. I suppose municipal plantings chiefly. Yeah. But what we're going to do here is have naturalistic looking clumps between where the perennials will come up in the border. Sure. And we're going to try and have an even mix of pink and purple, but not too even because that looks false. Okay, so what we've got here is 4 bags of pink and 3 bags of purple. So what we're going to do is put 2 bags of the pink into the crate and 1.5 bags of the purple into the crate, and just mix them up randomly so we don't actually know what's where, and then just plant those. So you do 2 of the pink and I'll do 1.5 of the purple. Okay, and we'll give them a good mix then. We'll try anyway. That looks like a nice lot of tulips, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We can imagine we're in Keukenhof Gardens in the Netherlands now.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and get these tulips to look as naturalistic as possible, and we're going to plant them in groups of 3, 5 or, well, 7. All right. So we're going to lay them now on the ground. So let's move in about a foot from the edge of the border and just place them down. It's not an exact science, just so. And the thing is, when we start to plant these and put them in, what we may find is that we have to move them slightly in one direction or the other to avoid a perennial.
Yeah, okay.
Now I'm really messing up the lovely earth that you've raked over. So to plant the tulips, do you know this thing?
Yeah, yeah.
And what's your experience with it?
It doesn't work.
That's exactly my experience as well. Now, I do have a cheaper model, but I suppose at Botanic Gardens yours is quite a good model.
I don't know really. But
Anyway, the way they're supposed to work is that we remove the tulip that we want to put in and we place it on the earth and we go like this all the way down. Now, if you're planting into very friable earth or sandy earth, then this is easier because my earth is very stony. Now that's really as steep as I can get it, because what we have basically is various layers of compost, of manure that have been put on top of a very stony substrate. So that's as deep as I could get it. So now you're supposed to lift it out like that and place your tulip in, but that isn't near deep enough. It's because we're supposed to plant at 3 times the depth of the bulb, and tulips even deeper if possible. It won't be possible for us. And then what you're supposed to do then is just put the tulip in and then empty the earth on top like that. So if you've very good earth at home, then good luck to you. What we're going to do instead is to use a trowel and just I was going to say this is much easier. It looks suddenly a lot deeper, a lot more difficult. Now, in theory, we're supposed to put tulips in at 3 times their depth. It's not going to be possible here. Yeah, so we're going to get them in as like something like that. Put the tulip in, and then just cover it over. And yeah, and that's great.
So obviously, we have to plant the bulbs in the right way. So you have to have the larger part down and the little point facing up, because this is the exact point where the tulip will sprout. So this is the way the bulbs should be planted. And can I go?
Mm-hmm.
And it is good to not overcrowd them, so we are more or less keeping them 10 centimeters apart, each bulb from another. It should be deep enough, and just cover. Okay. Okay, that was all for this video. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to Rachel channels and to my channel. That will be linked up above. I don't know where, here, there.
Somewhere there, yeah.
I never know. And yeah, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Right, so we want these tulips to look as natural as possible. So we're going to plant them in groups of 3, 5 or 7, which is the conventional way to do it. And